My instant death ability episode 3. And when I watched the previous episode 2, I was kind of getting the hint that this anime was going to be really wild. Really wild in the sense that the episode were going to be all over the place, that there were going to be a lot of things happening, a lot of action, a lot of characters coming in and out, because just as they get introduced, they also die that quickly. And all sort of things happening all over the place. And man, was I right, because I thought the previous episode was really crazy, but this episode took it to another level, because the amount of things that happen in this episode, you have a lot of things happening, or I guess you can say plot lines happening at the same time. You have new characters coming in and out. You have enemies. You have, I don't even know how to describe it. You have a lot of things happening. So yeah, and as always, Takatou is in the center of it, or almost in the center of it, because there was, I guess you can say, another thing happening in another place, which was where Lain was, the vampire. But yeah, we see in this episode how Dannoura and Takatou are still traveling. They're going to place, and now they ended up in some sort of hotel in a weird place. And in this hotel, they find Tachibana, which supposedly was one of the students that was left behind by the other classmates. I don't know if he was one of the ones that didn't get powers. It was just mentioned that he got left behind. I don't know what exactly that means, if he got left behind like the other 4 that were at the beginning of the first episode were, or if he was something else. And apparently he's a dominator, which is supposed to be a person, like in name implies, that basically dominates other lesser level people. Yeah, he basically does that. He has bodyguards, bodyguards that are supposedly lower ranked than he is, but because they rank up, because they get experience, he also gets experience. Although to be honest, it is more of a having slaves than anything else, because unless they want to be with you because of their own, I guess you can say, will, their own decision, then it is just basically having slaves. But I don't know what was the case for the girls that were in this episode, if that was the case or not. But regardless, yeah, he has these bodyguards, and Tachibana asks Dannoura if she wants to join him, and of course Dannoura doesn't want to do that. He even tells Takatou he wants to be too in it, but he also doesn't want to be in it. So yeah, they part ways, but soon after that, Tachibana sends one of the girls to, I guess you can say, spy on Takatou and Dannoura, although she didn't do anything worth of spying. She was more there to kill Dannoura. So yeah, because of this, Takatou has to kill her. And I still find it pretty shocking and at the same time surprising, and in some weird ways not surprising, how easily people die in this anime and how the reaction of Dannoura is to all of this. I guess I can understand her to a certain extent, but not really, because you have a crazy guy on your side, which is basically Takatou, probably the strongest person to ever live in that world, just killing people day in and day out. So I guess it makes kind of sense why she will be already used to it. But yeah, it is still pretty surprising how people die left and right, and how at this point they don't even feel anything. Not that they felt anything at the beginning, because I don't even think that was happening at the beginning. But yeah, they kill the girl, I think her name was Erika, the blonde hair one, and then Tachibana sends other people there, and one of the people that was sent there was the blue hair girl, and the other one was the one that had a bear. And of course they face Tachibana, and guess what happens? Well, of course she dies, or they die. So yeah, I guess you can say at this point in time, having Takatou as a friend is one of the most secure ways to stay alive, basically. Or in other words, it's a really good insurance, because you will not face any danger with him. You will be targeted a lot because you will have a lot of attention put into you, but at the same time nothing dangerous is going to happen, because in this episode we saw how Takatou used his ability in all sort of cool ways. In the last episode he demonstrated new abilities, for example time abilities and healing parts of your body, but in this episode he expanded even further the ways he can use his ability. For example, it was shown in this episode that he can use it on inanimate objects, which is really cool, because that means his ability is limitless. Not only he can use it on on living things, but also on anything that is not alive. So I guess you can say in this episode we found out that he's even stronger than we thought. I know that is really crazy to hear, because even in the first episode we already thought that he was really strong, but to find out in this third episode that he's even stronger than we thought is actually something really mind-blowing. And also we saw how he can use it to stop magic. We saw how he was using it to, I guess you can say, kill the ice. I don't know exactly how that works because it sounds really goofy to say he was killing the ice, but I mean, he was doing it. We also saw in this episode how Lain was battling some sort of darkness or whatever it is called. And she was struggling a little bit because although she said she is stronger than this monster, the monster has a weird ability that basically anything faces through it. So she was struggling a little bit. And something really interesting that she said in this episode that kind of solves a question that I had in the last episode was that if Takatou was able to kill her, because as we all know, she is immortal, she cannot die, she generates basically instantly. But she said in this episode that she has a high level or high speed regeneration. So that sort of implies, at least to me, that yeah, she can actually be killed as long as you do it faster than she can regenerate. So I guess that kind of solves the question that I had in the last episode. Or maybe not, maybe it is something else, but at least I think that. So yeah. And finally at the end of the episode we saw how Takatou basically killed Tachibana. Not basically, he did actually kill him. I mean, of course that was going to happen because Tachibana was targeting Takatou. So I mean, guess what was going to happen if you do that? And basically at the end of the episode we got two scenes. One of them was that one of the girls that Tachibana had that was left alive joined Lain, or not so much joined, but was basically forced to join Lain. And I find it kind of funny how when Tachibana died, she wasn't even lamenting or anything like that. She quickly broke off with him. Of course he was dead, but it was kind of funny to see that just moments before she was really worried about him, and then suddenly when he died she just leaves like nothing. So I mean, that was surprising to say the least. And we also saw how the other girl was actually caring for Tachibana, so I wonder what is going to happen with her. Maybe she's also going to be forced to join with Lain because she was just left there inside the pyramid. So yeah, let's see what happens with her. And the other thing that happened in the episode was that of the zombie invasion or zombie attack, which I don't know what is going to happen with them, but yeah, that was kind of interesting to see at the end. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that happened in the episode. A pretty chaotic but good episode. And yeah, you don't want to miss any episode reviews of the anime, please subscribe. And if you like the episode review, please give me a thumbs up. And yeah, that will be everything by me, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.